The Master Chief has been around for a long time, and so has the Halo series. In fact, I would argue he is one of the most iconic characters in gaming. I would say he even stands with gaming icons such as Mario, Sonic, Crash Bandicoot, and even, of course, Minecraft Steve. But no, on a serious note, the Master Chief's character is one of great depth and one of no depth. Is the Master Chief truly a great character, or is he just a soldier in green power armor who doesn't show his face?
Dude, we've got your green power armor over here and ready to go.
Power armor is for pussies.
Well, okay, you want a gun instead?
Let's find out. Before I can go into great detail and depth on why the Master Chief is such a deep and interesting character, I need to talk about him before he was a deep and interesting character. I need to talk about him at the start and the birth of the Halo series. The Master Chief was created for the hit 2001 game Halo Combat Evolved. When Bungie were making Halo Combat Evolved, they wanted the Master Chief to sound like a robot or a cyborg, and that's why when the first trailer of Halo 1 released, Chief literally did sound like a robot.
Say again? Over. The drop zone is clear. I repeat, the drop zone is clear. What the fuck?
Yeah, trust me, I'm glad they changed this too. Bungie wanted the main character of Halo 1 to be someone you could completely immerse yourself in. That's why the Master Chief doesn't talk during gameplay. This is also why the Master Chief doesn't have much backstory, because the developers wanted the players to be able to easily plant themselves into the Master Chief. This is also when they ended up making a very minor decision, which would actually turn out to be a very major decision. The decision, of course, that I'm talking about is the one where they chose not to remove the Master Chief's helmet, aka not show the Master Chief's face. They of course did this so that the players could further immerse themselves in the Master Chief's character. Halo Combat Evolved sees a very flat Chief, a Chief that is very unreactive in gameplay and...
Chief, don't be a fool. Leave me.
Captain? Captain? I've lost him.
a little reactive in cutscenes.
I'd guess an antimatter charge.
Ma'am, fire control for the main cannon is offline.
Captain, the cannon was my last offensive option.
All right then. I'm initiating Cold Protocol Article 2. We're abandoning the auto. That means you too, Cortana.
The first version of the Master Chief would crack a joke every once in a while and would show little emotions throughout the game, normally leaving that to the second main character, Cortana, the AI in Master Chief's head. This version of the Master Chief was nothing crazy, but overall he was just pretty good. You could easily immerse yourself in him, he'd crack a joke once in a while, and he'd show some or very little emotion. I think the best thing about the Master Chief's character in Halo 1 are these small little mannerisms he does, almost like a Disney character. The camera will often cut to him juggling a grenade or shaking his head to show emotion, or even him just holding a gun in a cool way. It's the little details like this and the use of his body language that makes the Master Chief so likable. Also, Halo 1 introduces us to the voice actor of the Master Chief, Steve Downes, who is one of the best voice actors and most iconic voices in gaming. This, in my opinion, is also one of the main reasons the Master Chief is so iconic. Halo 2 would release in 2004, and the hype around this game was unlike any other at the time, with hundreds or even sometimes thousands of people flocking towards a game store to get themselves a copy of the early awaited Halo 2. When making Halo 2, Bungie wanted to go big. In fact, they wanted to launch Halo 2 with 25 missions, but we know to this day it had to be cut down to the 12 it has now. The game would come out and, well, like, 2 people wouldn't like it, but, like, who cares about their opinions anyway. The game was great, the missions were great, and the story was incredible. But what about the Master Chief? Well, it's quite interesting, because the Master Chief actually steps forward and backwards in Halo 2. By far, the Master Chief is far more funny in this game, and he's also a lot more badass. It's clear that Bungie wanted the Master Chief to be more cool because a more cool character is more marketable over just a character who is a super soldier who wears green armor. And in this game, you really do feel like a badass. You really do feel like something more. You feel like the Master Chief. In this game, you feel like the super soldier of the world. Both the Master Chief and Cortana feel the same in this way. They've both stepped up their game for when it comes to their comedic and badass elements. But to be fair, it does feel like both the characters stepped down in the emotional elements. Now, there is a good reason for this step down, and that's because of the character of the Arbiter, who is the second main character in Halo 2 and shares the screen with Master Chief. Cortana and Chief have more of the funny and badass dialogue, dialogue and moments, whereas the Arbiter has more of the core emotional moments, as this works with the story. Sadly, however, this did mean the Chief and Cortana got less character development in this game. Overall, however, Halo 2 is still great for the Master Chief, as he's fleshed out in different elements, such as his relationship with Cortana, which feels much more personal, much more funny, and much more interesting. Halo 3's Master Chief is two sides to a coin. And it's in Halo 3 where we see our first level of emotional connection that the Master Chief has to the story, or the game as a whole. Something we immediately notice from Halo 3's start is that the Master Chief is hallucinating Cortana, which shows a more caring side and a more emotionally connected side than we've ever seen before. If you're unaware, at the end of Halo 2, the Master Chief has to leave Cortana behind on the Covenant's homeworld of High Charity. Well, not really a homeworld, but more a massive fuck-off metal temple that is used as the Covenant's base planet. The Flood end up invading High Charity, and Cortana is left behind to help the Master Chief from the inside of High Charity and to make sure the Flood are contained somewhat. In Halo 3, we see the Master Chief's need to do something out of his own will, his need to get Cortana and bring her back to him, as he's hallucinating about her non-stop. This shows the inside workings of the Master Chief's head. In Halo 3, we both see a more emotional and connected Master Chief, but also still that badass Master Chief we love. This is Bungie's writing team at their best here. Chief is still silent and a mute throughout gameplay, but he talks a lot more during cutscenes. Oh, sorry, I mean he talks in general during cutscenes, and he's a lot more emotionally connected. In one of the ending missions to Halo 3, we see Chief for the first time do something not because it's an order, but because he wants to. We see him go to High Charity to try and save Cortana, his friend. But it's at the end of this mission where we see the Master Chief in one of his most emotional states, where he finds Cortana, and she is a broken wreck, been broken down by the Gravemind under all the time she's been here.
But so much of me is wrong, out of place.
She's basically been tortured by a hive mind for quite a while. In this scene, we see the Master Chief do something he's never done before. We see him show empathy, and more importantly, we see him try to comfort Cortana, something he's never done to anyone before, at least in the mainline Halo games.
Know me when I make a promise.
You keep it. I do know how to pick 'em.
Lucky me.
But the main bit of emotional connection we see the Chief present is at the end of Halo 3's story, where one of the main characters die, Master Chief's friend, Master Chief's ally, Sergeant Avriel Johnson. And it's in this cutscene we see Master Chief nearly, very very nearly show complete and direct sadness to Sergeant Johnson. He tries his hardest, even suggesting that he's still going to get Johnson out of there, but he knows he can't, and that is heartbreaking, and we see Chief show those emotions.
I'm getting you out of here.
No, you're not. Don't let her go. Don't ever let her go. Send me out with a bang.
This was Bungie's writing team at their best, and this was Bungie's character development and writing at their best. We can truly see the Master Chief convey emotion in this game, we can empathise with him, and we can see, maybe, he will even show some pain. And, at least in my opinion, it's at this moment and this moment onwards, I can now look at Chief as not just some super soldier in armour that we play as, not just some badass hero, but as a proper character, a character with depth and emotion, and that is beautiful. And it's at this moment that Bungie were also done with Halo. so they handed the reins over to another company called 343 Industries, who would start the Reclaimer saga. I have my issues with 343 Industries, and I certainly have my issues with Halo 4. Halo 4 is one of those games where some people think it's absolutely the best game they've ever played in the entire world, and some people think it's absolutely incredibly shit and they hate it. For me, I'm in the middle. I have a lot of issues with Halo 4, from the multiplayer to the art to even the enemies. I honestly don't hate Halo 4, but I honestly don't love it either. I'm directly in the middle. But there is one thing I do love, for the most part, and that's the characters.
I am ordering you to surrender that AI!
Well, like I said, for the most part. A lot of people absolutely loved the original trilogy's Master Chief, as he's silent in gameplay, talks in cutscenes, and there's just enough emotion there to be connected to him, but he doesn't feel like a really deep character. But this was about to all change for Halo 4. Halo 4 from the opening cutscene sets the tone of the game, and it tells us from the get-go that this game will be about the Master Chief, and will be diving deep into him. The game starts with a very weird and cold cutscene of an ONI officer talking to Dr. Halsey, interrogating her on why and how the Spartans were made. The ONI interrogator goes on to ask if Spartans were more effective because they were completely broken at their core, suggesting that Spartans were more in fact machines than they were people. And this is it. This is the question that Halo 4 will continue to ask about the Master Chief. Is he more machine, or is he more human? Halo 4 starts by describing the Master Chief as unstoppable, and that he should never be underestimated. And from the first mission, that is the impression we get. We wake up from cryosleep ready to kick some Covenant ass, and that is what you do, blowing up shit, killing Covenant, and trying to escape your ship. The Master Chief does in fact feel unstoppable, and inhuman. Chief continues to feel like a badass until he notices something wrong with Cortana. She sounds strange, sounds discontorted, but she brushes it off as nothing and they continue with the mission. I think one of the main things you notice about the Master Chief straight away that's different is that this is not Bungie's Master Chief. This Master Chief from the get-go talks during missions.
The auxiliary launch station should be to your left, out of the airlocks. You'll have to prime the launch for ignition.
Cortana.
Nothing. Just get to the launch station.
This Master Chief is not someone you slip into the shoes of and play as you, but this Master Chief is his own character. The second mission of Halo 4 starts with the Master Chief confronting Cortana on why she sounds the way she sounds, and Cortana in short tells the Master Chief that she's dying. Chief however quickly tells Cortana that she will be okay, as he's going to get her back to Earth so she can be repaired. And it's at this moment onwards we notice a more desperate side of the Master Chief, and a more vulnerable version of the Master Chief.
Halsey.
Chief.
We need to find Halsey.
Chief, please.
She made you. She can fix you.
I won't recover from rampancy, Chief.
If we can just get back to Earth and find Halsey, she can fix this.
Don't make a girl a promise you can't keep.
A lot happens throughout Halo 4's story. The Master Chief throughout Halo 4 has two main goals in general: stop the Didact, the main villain of Halo 4, and help his best friend Cortana. It's important to note that these two goals contradict each other, as Chief can't stop the Didact without either Cortana or the UNSC's help. He can't do it on his own. Chief throughout Halo 4 has to watch his closest friend and ally go through the most severe pain they have ever gone through. They are literally slowly dying. All whilst this is happening, Chief himself has to try and stay calm and collected. However, this is very hard when we can see that Cortana's rampancy causes huge issues in the line of battle. Chief tries to stay calm throughout the course of Halo 4, but we can soon see him get more and more worried for his friend and get more and more concerned overall, as so does Cortana.
You do your job and I'll do mine, okay? Got it! Passageway's unlocked! Come and get me! I'm sorry about back there. That hatch of security was more difficult than I expected.
It's all right.
It's not all right. Nothing about it is all right.
One of the most important moments in Halo 4's trajectory is when Chief does link up with the UNSC. However, a stubborn and poorly written captain wants to leave the planet Requiem they're on. However, Chief and Cortana know how powerful the Didact is and how he needs to be stopped now before he gets to Earth. But it's here where Cortana's rampancy takes over and she loses it in front of the whole of the UNSC crew on the ship, including the captain. Now, before I do a deep dive into this cutscene, let me explain some of the background information going on in the game's story so far. Master Chief and Cortana were sucked into a planet called Requiem, where they discovered a new and dangerous faction called the Prometheans. They also met a villain called the Didact who wants to destroy the whole of humanity. Oh, and by the way, a terrorist group of aliens called the Covenant are on the planet and they're tearing shit up as well. So Chief has to deal with all of this, as well as his best friend Cortana getting rapidly worse with her rampancy. We can see that all of these issues are actually getting to the Master Chief for once, and when he needs Cortana most, her rampancy kicks in and he can't help the situation and he has to try and help her. But this is the thing. The game is asking, is Chief more machine or is Chief more human? This creates some very awkward situations where the Master Chief doesn't know how to help and support his friend, as he's not sure himself whether he is human or machine. So basically, in short, Chief is fighting an intergalactic threat whilst trying to comfort the most important person in his life. This makes for some incredible moments in the game's story, in both dialogue and cutscenes.
Look, don't think about the Didact. Don't think about the composer. Only focus on finding me Tilson.
Tilson. Sandra Kay. Female, 51 years of age. Doctor of Archaeology. Pegasi Institute. Got her! Biosignature stable on 350 level. B-deck.
Thank you, Cortana.
At this point in the game, Master Chief and Cortana have been through an incredible amount of things. After helping defend the UNSC Infinity, Master Chief and Cortana board it. However, the captain wants to retreat off of the planet. Chief tries to tell the captain that the Didact is hurt and that they need to go after him now or he will come for Earth. Captain Del Rio tells the Master Chief that he understands what he thinks he saw. However, the Master Chief claps back, telling Del Rio that he knows what he saw. Del Rio fires another shot back at Chief, telling him that he's delusional and that his AI is broken.
If we let him leave this world, humanity will be at risk.
Look, I understand what you think you saw.
Think?
With all due respect, sir, I know what I saw.
And with all due respect to you, soldier, I'm not willing to jeopardize my ship because of the hallucinations of an aging Spartan and his malfunctioning AI.
The second in command, who knows the Master Chief quite well, or at least better than Del Rio, tries to tell the captain what if the Chief is right. Del Rio snaps and orders the crew to set a course for Earth.
Sir, what if he's right?
Nav, as soon as we know we're airtight, I want a course laid into Karenay Station. Com, prepare a warning beacon.
Okay, now we're back up to speed. Cortana then loses it, and Captain Del Rio seizes at the moment to have her confiscated and destroyed. He orders Lasky to do this.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to do that.
Commander Lasky, pursuant to Article 55 of UNSC Regulation 12-14572, I'm ordering you to remove that AI's data chip and retire it for final dispensation.
I don't want to. You don't want me to.
Remove
Please.
the chip now, Commander.
Because Lasky's not an asshole, he very hesitantly puts his hand out to take the chip, but then the Master Chief steps in front of him and takes it for him. Del Rio directly confronts the Master Chief, telling him to give him the chip, but we see for the first time in the whole of the Halo series, the Master Chief deny a direct order.
Give me that chip.
The Didact has to be stopped. If you won't do that, I will.
Now, I can't stress this enough how important this is. The Master Chief, who has lived for the UNSC, who has lived and been made to follow and take orders, is now, out of his own personal views and vendetta, denying a direct order from a captain. I still cannot stress how important this is. This just shows so much growth in the Master Chief's character. The Master Chief, a man whose main incentive and goal has always been that the mission comes first, has just denied a direct order. Chief tells Del Rio that if he won't stop the Didact, then Chief will. Del Rio shouts at the Master Chief to give him Cortana, however Chief stands firmly in his boots, telling him no.
I am ordering you to surrender that AI!
No, sir.
Lieutenant! Arrest that man!
Captain!
Arrest him!
Captain!
Get word to Earth that trouble is coming. Cortana and I will do what we can back here.
This cutscene truly shows the Master Chief as human like no other cutscene has in Halo. This cutscene truly does show that the Master Chief is human. Halo 4, when it comes down to it, asks one important question, and that is the Master Chief more human or is the Master Chief more machine? This is the question that Halo 4 presents, and it does it in a very, very good way. And throughout the events of Halo 4, this question gets challenged more and more. You see, in some scenes, we see a Master Chief that is almost very compassionate and almost very vulnerable, but yet in other scenes we see a Master Chief who is completely disconnected and couldn't be more machine. We see the Master Chief throughout gameplay achieve better and better things and harder things, which makes us wonder, is the Master Chief truly machine, killing Covenant, killing Prometheans and wiping out anyone in his path with no emotions? We see when Cortana breaks down that Chief tries to make things easy for her to understand, and this leads to some truly beautiful moments in the game. But at the same time, we get some scenes in Halo 4 where the Chief feels completely robotic, where people die and he doesn't react, where things occur and he just seems like a machine. One of my favourite scenes in Halo 4 is when Cortana is monologuing about the sun, saying that she can see it and that she knows it's real, but she'll never truly know if it feels real because she herself is just an AI.
I can give you over 40,000 reasons why I know that sun isn't real. I know it because the emitter's Rayleigh effect is disproportionate to its suggested size. I know it because its stellar cycle is more symmetrical than that of an actual star. But for all that, I'll never actually know if it looks real, if it feels real.
We can see Cortana's inner struggle here with herself and her inner pain, but yet the Master Chief simply doesn't know how to react to this. He doesn't know how to fix Cortana's inner mental health struggle, and therefore he's sat there awkwardly, just reloading a gun. This causes Cortana to say, by the end of us, tell me which one of us is the machine and which one of us is human, which is a really interesting line coming from Cortana.
Before this is all over, promise me you'll figure out which one of us is the machine.
By the end of Halo 4, it's made pretty clear that things are not going to plans for Chief and Cortana, and I myself even thought that they would both die by the end of the game, no joke. By the end of Halo 4, the Master Chief and the Didact do face off. However, it's made very clear that things are not going well for Chief, and I think it's at this point where, for the first time in a Halo game, we truly see the Master Chief desperate. By the end of Halo 4, Cortana does save the Master Chief, but at a great cost. Cortana saves the Master Chief. Cortana saves John, but at the cost of her own life. And when Chief realizes this, realizes that Cortana will not be coming back with him, we see a different side to the Master Chief. Or rather, not even Chief at all. We see John, the man under the helmet, the human under the helmet. A human being realizing that he is about to lose the closest person to him. Says he's not leaving her, and says that he was supposed to take care of her, and what follows is one of the most heartbreaking moments in gaming.
I'm not coming with you this time.
What?
Most of me is down there. I only held enough back to get you off the ship.
No. That's not... We go together.
It's already done.
We watch John meet Cortana for the first time in the flesh just to have her yanked away from him. John begs and pleads with Cortana to stay with him, but he realizes that there's nothing he can do and she's already gone.
I am not leaving you here.
John. I've waited so long to do that.
It was my job to take care of you.
We were supposed to take care of each other. And we did.
Cortana, please. Wait.
Welcome home, John.
And it's at this moment, to me, here, where we see the Master Chief as something more, something human, someone who is broken, a man who is broken, a human who is broken, and that is heartbreaking. In the last scene of Halo 4, we see the Master Chief taking in the view of Earth when he is joined by the now Captain Lasky. Lasky tries to start a conversation with the Master Chief, but to no avail.
Beautiful, isn't she? I don't get to see her often enough. I grew up in New Harmony, attended Corbulo Military Academy. Never saw Earth in person until I was an adult, but I still think of her as home.
Lasky then just admits to the Master Chief that he feels awfully sorry for him and that he can't imagine what he's going through. But the Master Chief responds with some lines saying that as soldiers it is his duty to protect humanity no matter the cost. To which Lasky responds with, "You say that like soldiers and humanity are two different things. Humans aren't machines."
Our duty as soldiers is to protect humanity, whatever the cost.
You say that like soldiers and humanity are two different things. I mean, soldiers aren't machines. We're just people.
Lasky lets the Master Chief have the deck to himself, and then Chief says, "The thing is, by the end of Halo 4, the Master Chief himself is left guessing whether he is a human or whether he is the machine, but I think we know."
She said that to me once. About being a machine.
The Master Chief is human. There, I said it. The Master Chief is human by the end of Halo 4. At the start of Halo 4, we are asked the question, is the Master Chief human? And given no answer. The same for the end of Halo 4, but I think we know the answer now. By the end of Halo 4, the Master Chief is left in pain and is left vulnerable. End of Halo 4, the Master Chief truly is human. And I think it's incredible. Incredible that a character that would hardly say anything and would act emotionless has been turned into such a beautiful character. One with depth and emotion and human. People said that the Master Chief would never become a depth character, that he is just some badass action hero with no character to him. Well, look at them now, because the Master Chief has truly reached depths, and it is incredible. Well, that was a long video, and thank you guys ever so much for watching it. If you've reached the end, I really do appreciate a like and a subscribe, guys. It's always appreciated, and if you could hit the bell notifications on so you're updated when my videos are posted, that would be incredible too. Thank you guys ever so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Stay safe, guys. Peace.